So Jared Goff, very good first half. He was excellent. 13 of 16, couple of touchdown passes. And then he fell behind, and he had to throw and didn't have the running game, and Green Bay put a little more pressure on him, and he became the turnover machine that he is. Pretty physically limited turnover machine, and that got him booted out of Los Angeles. So it's the second week in a row when Jared has to throw, trailing, doesn't have the running game, can't rely on it, not playing with a lead, implodes. Because he was very good in spots. He doesn't have a ton of escapability, and he at times can look very frail under pressure. We talk about this all the time, how coaches undermine quarterbacks. But let's be honest, McVay made him a lot of money. It's very interesting. Think about how smart the LA Rams are. The owner's the richest guy in the NFL, Stan Kroenke. Could buy like 8 different owners. I mean, he's that rich. The general manager, Les Snead, is so smart with a cap. They're still paying Jared Goff 13% of their cap, and they still have 9 stars on their team, 8 stars. They're still paying Todd Gurley. They work their way around the cap. Sean McVay is one of the smartest young coaches last 20 years in the NFL, and they all got fooled with Jared Goff. They paid him $134 million and $110 guaranteed. They got fooled by Goff because it's very difficult when you're playing with a lead and you're playing with a great run game. Who am I talking about? Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield. This is what Cleveland's worried about. Baker Mayfield now playing with a lead, playing with a great scheming coach. Baker's in the same situation that Jared Goff was. Jared Goff came into the league first year, disaster. Baker came into the league first 2 years, disaster. Both looked overwhelmed. Both a ton of turnovers. Then both get a great scheming offensive head coach. Both their coaches are named Coach of the Year, Stefanski and McVay. Both have excellent O-lines. Both now have strong running games. Both now good receivers. And both always playing with a lead. And it fooled the Rams. This is why I talk about Baker Mayfield. Who gives a rip if he beats the Texans? It's those games against Kansas City. Colin, Baker's way better than Goff. Bruh, which one's been to a Super Bowl? Which one beat Mahomes on Monday Night Football, and I mean in a 45-40 game, outdueled him? Wasn't Baker. Baker didn't get to a Super Bowl. This is why you can get fooled with this stuff. That's why I say Baker, Lamar, like Lamar's win the other night, that win on Sunday night goes a long way to getting him the contract. And I'm not joking. You cannot overplay that. He went right up against Mahomes. It was a track meet. He trails, he leads. He trails, he leads. Lamar got the bag in that game. That's what you worry about. The Rams are one of the smartest organizations in the sport. They got fooled with Goff. And that's why. Because it's a different sport when you play with a lead and you play with protection. How bad was Goff and Baker in the first couple of years? They were just turnover machines because they trailed and they didn't have good protection and they didn't have reliable running games. And now that's what Goff has in Detroit, and he implodes weekly. So the key for Baker getting the bag is not going to be beating bad teams. It's going to be 3 or 4 or 5 games this year. He trails late, critical situations. Because go ask the Rams. Goff with a lead, Goff trailing with an average O-line, 2 different players.